It's Monday, April 11th, and this is now on H&N.
New today, Lori Vallow Dabell has been deemed competent to stand trial for the killing of her children.
A chaotic COVID lockdown in China has put millions on edge. Today, we get word that the government there is easing some of its measures.
This is the gun.
The Biden administration is trying to crack down on so-called ghost guns. I'm Deborah Alfarone at the White House with the proposed regulations and their potential effects on gun violence.
I feel like I'm representing that.
These stories plus, it's Bronson Varde Day. A preview of what to expect on tonight's KHNL's American Song Contest coming up on This Is Now. Good afternoon. Thanks for watching. This is now coming to you from the H&N Digital Center. Let's get started with some brand new news into our newsroom at noon.
That's right. We're starting with an update on that high-profile Hawaii Lower Ridge homicide investigation.
The court is also going to maintain the no bail status.
The man accused in a grisly murder is back on Oahu and has just made his initial appearance in video court. Juan Barron was extradited from California on Friday. Only H&N cameras were there as he was brought into HPD. Barron allegedly confessed to strangling 73-year-old Gary Ruby last month, then putting his body in a bathtub and covering it with concrete and coffee grounds. And you can see in this new video from that court appearance this morning that Barron is still wearing the same hooded sweatshirt that he was arrested in and also was in when he arrived at HPD on Friday. Now, it was decided today that Barron's preliminary hearing will be held on April 13th at 1:30 p.m. He faces multiple charges, including murder and theft. New today, Lori Vallow Dabell has been deemed competent to stand trial for the killings of her children. A judge issued a written order today saying Dabell is fit to proceed to trial and ordered that she be released from a health facility where she has been undergoing treatment in northern Idaho since last summer. Dabell and her husband, Chad Dabell, are charged with multiple counts of conspiracy to commit murder and first-degree murder in relation to the deaths of two of Lori's children, JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan, and also Chad's first wife, Tammy Dabell. You'll recall, Vallow was arrested on the Garden Isle back in 2020. The story has gained national attention, with NBC's Dateline calling it the Mommy Doomsday Case. The trial has been on hold since last June when she was declared incompetent for trial. Chad and Lori Dabell's cases are now set to be tried together in 2023. And there's a hearing scheduled for next week where prosecutors are expected to argue that bringing jurors in for the trial will be much cheaper than moving it. Lori Dabell is now scheduled to be arraigned on April 19th at 1 p.m.
Well, former President Trump is back in the news, and for more on that, let's bring in Hawaii News Now's White House correspondent, John Decker. Thanks so much for being with us, John. Now, a well-known Senate candidate got an endorsement from the former president. Tell us about that.
Dr. Oz, Dr. Mehmet Oz, the television doctor, got the endorsement over the weekend, Saturday night, from former President Donald Trump. He's running for the U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania. It's a crowded primary on the Republican side, and the thinking is, at least from his camp, that this endorsement will mean a lot in terms of winning the Republican nomination. After all, former President Trump remains the leader of the Republican Party. But Dr. Oz has some problems in his candidacy. One problem, of course, he's not a politician. He's never run for public office before. The other problem is that he's a carpetbagger. He's only new as a Pennsylvania resident for the past year, so I don't know how that will go over with Pennsylvania voters should he win the nomination in the general election.
So you do feel that these Trump endorsements do carry some weight?
they carry weight, particularly in the primary process, sort of winnowing down the field. When you have a crowded primary and you have one individual getting that Trump endorsement, it matters a lot. We've seen that certainly take place. Trump voters, the base, they listen to the former president in terms of who his choice is for choosing a nominee, and I don't know if that will be the case. In the case of Pennsylvania, they will choose their nominee within the next few months before the general election. But Dr. Oz certainly was crowing about this nomination in the immediate aftermath. He thinks it's a big deal for him.
All right, switching gears now to the Capitol attack investigation. The New York Times says the January 6th committee has enough evidence to make a criminal referral against the former president. What are you hearing there?
Well, that's what the New York Times is reporting. As you know, it's a committee, the January 6th committee, that has 2 Republicans on it, as well as the rest being Democrats. And according to that reporting, there is some dissension on that committee as to whether or not to make a criminal referral to the Department of Justice in terms of criminal activity by President Trump on that date, January the 6th. Even if they were to make that criminal referral, it does not necessarily mean that charges will be brought by the Department of Justice against the former president. It's still up to the DOJ as to what they want to do. But what we heard over the weekend from one of the members of the committee, actually the co-chair of the committee, Liz Cheney, is that there is no disagreement that exists right now on the committee. And she believes that, in fact, the former president did commit crimes on January the 6th. So I think that we're going to get an answer to this question over the course of the next few weeks as the work of this committee winds itself up.
All right, always keeping us up to date. Hawaii News Now's White House correspondent John Decker. Appreciate the time, John.
As a strict lockdown in China drags on, anger is really just boiling over into the streets there. I want to turn things over now to Tina Krause, who has more on the growing unrest.
This man in Shanghai is showing he's had enough of the COVID lockdown. In a furious rant caught on camera, he says, the government is driving ordinary people to revolt. There is no way for me to live. While countries around the world are lifting pandemic restrictions, China is sticking to its zero COVID strategy of tackling outbreaks with mandatory isolation and mass testing. Shanghai has enforced some of the most rigid rules since the virus emerged in Wuhan in 2019. 25 million residents have been forced to stay put, not even allowed to walk their dogs. The only canines permitted on city streets are robots, broadcasting tips on how to avoid infection. Under growing pressure to ease the lockdown, which has left many people without enough food, the government said Monday residents in neighborhoods with the fewest infections will soon be able to leave their homes. But scenes like this of people screaming from their windows show an end to the strict COVID controls can't come soon enough. Tina Krause, CBS News.
An important tourism news update for you. A third of the way through the month, and April arrivals by air are already over 300,000. Total arrivals are up 3% from the first 10 days of April in pre-COVID 2019. So that means more mainland traffic is offsetting the lack of foreign visitor traffic with room to spare. Keep in mind, this is with Japan being at only 6% of normal traffic and other foreign arrivals at only 41% of normal. For the first time in more than 2 years, the Pride of America cruise ship relaunched its inter-island sailings. This happened on Saturday. DOT officials say the initial trips are going to be taking place at only 50% capacity, which is just over 1,000 passengers and crew members on board. Everyone must be vaccinated or show proof of a negative COVID test before boarding.
People who sell their products on the e-commerce platform Etsy launched a week-long strike today after the company announced it was raising transaction fees from 5% to 6.5%. Over 5,000 sellers have pledged to set their stores to vacation mode for the next week, and over 46,000 people have signed a petition opposing the 30% hike. Etsy saw massive increases in revenue during the height of the pandemic and is attempting to transform the platform from a niche marketplace for handcrafted goods into a power player in e-commerce. On Capitol Hill, President Biden is announcing new action to fight gun crime. Deborah Alfarone has more.
From the Rose Garden at the White House, President Biden proposed new rules to regulate the manufacture and sale of ghost guns.
This is the gun. It's not hard to put together.
Ghost guns are homemade firearms that can be assembled using a 3D printer or with kits purchased online. They lack serial numbers, which makes it impossible for law enforcement to trace. The new proposed rules would require gun makers to include serial numbers, be federally licensed, run background checks, and keep purchase records as long as they are in business.
Because of these updates, law enforcement will have additional crime gun intelligence to stop gun violence.
The new regulations are likely to face lawsuits from manufacturers and gun rights groups. Monday, the president also announced the nomination of Steve Dettelbach to the head of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or ATF. President Biden nominated the former Ohio U.S. attorney after he pulled his previous nominee due to bipartisan concerns from lawmakers.
I promise to support the men and the women of the ATF and to do everything in our power to protect the people of this nation every single day.
If confirmed, Dettelbach would become the first permanent ATF director in 7 years. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
And back here at home, the Hokulea and Hikianalia just left Oahu for their Keala Ikahiki voyage. Their 7:30 a.m. departure was delayed several hours because a crew member on a training voyage tested positive for COVID, so they had to test everyone else. But now the crews are on their way to Hilo, and they are expected to leave for Tahiti tomorrow, and they will be sailing the ancient sea road of Keala Ikahiki to Hawaii's ancestral homeland, Tahiti, where they will be focusing on navigational training and cultural protocol. And coming up at 4 today, Mark will have he spoke with the crew as they left, so he will have more on that.
They had to be nervous with the COVID protocol stuff unfolding this morning.
Yeah, you know, first they had the delay with the winds and then COVID. So glad to see they're finally on their way.
Speaking of those winds, let's take you live outside. Hopefully they're dying down a bit. I attempted to do some long distance rollerblading this weekend, and the Alawai, man, those gusts got me, my friend.
Yeah.
And you did the race.
I did. The winds were light, though.
Really?
It was really
Mine
hot.
was Saturday, so.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk more about that in a second, but let's get you over to Guy with an update on all those conditions.
According to the rain forecast model, we will see some passing showers from time to time, really not much. Plus, too, with the trade winds blowing, they'll be moving in rather quickly. The next time we're going to get more significant rainfall is probably over the weekend as a disturbance drops in. Again, mostly windward and Mauka areas from Friday night through Sunday, and then Monday things kind of dry up again. So we're in for a long stretch of beautiful, right? A few showers with those steady trade winds. The trade winds getting stronger from Tuesday through Friday. And then that disturbance drops in with more clouds, a few more showers over the weekend. Still, though, you'll take it. Things are looking pretty good for the next several days.
Okay, I had some friends over for brunch, and they were talking about this new documentary, and it involves the missile alert scare, and it's all done in VR, so virtual reality, and it's for Oculus headsets. I want to play out the teaser trailer video of what it's all about.
911, police fire ambulance. I just got an alert on my phone saying there was a ballistic missile inbound. Yeah, we just got it too. As much as you know, that's how much we know.
Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii. A missile may impact on land or sea within minutes.
All right, so you see a little spooky. That was a day a lot of us will never forget. This documentary is called On the Morning You Wake Up to the End of the World. So that was the trailer right there. It's getting a lot of buzz in the tech world. It won some awards at South by Southwest, and it was even shown at Sundance Film Festival. Critics say it's an emotionally impactful and beautifully told story delivered with stunning technical craftsmanship. And speaking of that, the filmmakers used over 140 cameras and 120 infrared sensors to capture these 3D images of everyone that's featured in the film. So apparently it tells some like real life stories of what people went through, and you're sort of living in that moment with them. And the filmmakers also say they really want this film to promote the desire to abolish nukes and that kind of weaponry. Again, this is for Oculus and its Quest 2 headsets. Again, my feelings on this is very interesting because it was, again, not a day I want to relive in any way.
That's so
and I
dark.
do have PTSD of it,
Yes.
right? But for people on the mainland or people who weren't living through it as we do, this would give that impact or that feeling of what we went through, right?
Wow. And you played this at brunch?
No, they told me about it at
they
brunch.
told you about it.
They told me.
I was like, what a downer for brunch,
We usually
John.
play Beat Saber at lunch.
That's
Lady
yes.
Gaga Beat Saber, keeping it light.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. That's heavy. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, check this out, you guys. Britney Spears announced on Instagram that she's pregnant. So in the post, the 40-year-old pop star says she just returned from vacation on Maui and took a pregnancy test, and it came back positive. So Spears, who already is a mother of two, and her boyfriend, Sam Asghari, they got engaged in September and have been pretty open about their desire to have a child together. Well, during court testimonies last year, as Spears sought to end the conservatorship that controlled her life for more than a decade, she testified that she wanted to have a baby, but her court-ordered conservators prohibited her from getting off birth control.
More baby news.
Yeah, so does your baby have what it takes to be the new Gerber Baby? Well, parents can now submit photos of their smiling infants in the 2022 photo search. The winner will earn the title of Spokesbaby and Chief Growing Officer. Now, he or she will be featured on the baby food company's social media channels and in its ad campaigns throughout the year, and they'll also get $25,000. Now, for the first time this year, Gerber will match the prize with a $25,000 donation to the March of Dimes maternal and infant health programs. Gerber says an irresistible giggle is strongly preferred, in addition to an undeniable, lovable personality. So parents and guardians of kids up to 4 years old can submit photos and videos of them smiling and giggling to Gerber's portal before Friday. 4 years old.
Yeah, 4 years old
Who
for
knew?
Gerber Baby?
I know.
Right.
Oh, well.
Might as well give me a chance. You guys, State Pride is on the line tonight for the American Song Contest.
Yeah.
We got local boy Bronson Varde in the mix tonight, making his debut with a new song that he's releasing for the show. Let's turn things over to Mark Barger with a preview of what's to come.
We were 17.
Thanks to his jury pick win last week, country singer Tyler Braden gave Tennessee a spot alongside Rhode Island and Kentucky in the semifinals of American Song Contest.
I got asked earlier, was there ever any doubt? And there was doubt every time somebody new stepped on the stage. I mean, everybody was so good. Like, literally everyone was amazing.
America's vote gets added into the mix tonight, along with the jury votes of music industry luminaries. That'll determine which 3 additional acts from last week will get to move on.
I'm excited to see what America says.
If they want us there, they're going to put us there.
You know, whatever happens, some good songs are going to win, that's for sure.
After those results, 11 more acts will take the stage, representing 10 states and the District of Columbia, trying to impress with their original songs.
Every local boy and girl from Hawaii that has a dream of, doing whatever, anything in entertainment, I feel like I'm representing that. And
every day I'm kind of looking around and seeing something new, and I'm like, it's real, it's happening.
And how the artists perform tonight.
I want to leave a message. I'm an artist that has something to say. I want to be remembered.
Could create a life-changing moment. Mark Barker, NBC News.
And Mayor Rick Blangiardi presented Bronson with a proclamation declaring today Bronson Varde Day. So Bronson worked for the city as an aide in the Children's Summer Fund program. And he says he learned to play ukulele when he was 9 years old and got his musical talent from his grandmother, who plays the piano, and his aunties and uncles who sing. Now, don't forget, tune in tonight. Bronson will debut his original song called For You on KHNL at 7 p.m.
Vote Bronson!
Yes.
Yeah, and I know Billy V is trying to talk to him live tomorrow on Sunrise, so we'll see if that all shapes up. All right, guys, another big music award show tonight on KGMB. We're talking about the CMT Country Music Awards. And Megan Alexander, I believe, is standing by with a preview. Here she is.
Anticipation is building for tonight's sure-to-be unforgettable performance by the Judds on the CMT Music Awards.
The CMT Awards are going to be broadcast on CBS Network for the first time ever. This is a big deal.
Yeah, a big honking deal. Wits and glitz, glamour and clamor, flash and flare with spunk to spare.
The 5-time Grammy Award-winning mother-daughter duo Naomi and Winona will sing their hit Love Can Build a Bridge from Nashville's Country Music Hall of Fame ahead of their induction in May. Naomi says she and Winona share a magical connection when they sing.
She watches my eyebrows. If I start to go up, then she knows the pitch, and we kind of got it down. But you never know. And this performance is so, I guess the word is radical. You'll see.
A performance that is solely devoted to the fans.
I love them so much. That's, to me, better than winning a Grammy or anything.
Is there a chance the Judds will ever go on tour again?
Wow.
Pretty please, say the fans.
I would love nothing more.
The Judds are just one highlight in a night that promises many. You can expect high-energy performances from several of country music's biggest stars, including Jason Aldean and Bryan Adams, Thomas Rhett and Riley Green, and Little Big Town, Monica and Jimmy Allen. Megan Alexander, CBS News, Nashville.
Thanks, Megan. Again, that's tonight on KGMB.
It's National Pet Day, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah.
So we love our pets, and a lot of people do, and it's something we do every day. So the observance encourages animal adoption. So pet advocates say the special day is a good time to sort through your favorite animals' toys and throw away the ones that are no longer safe. It's also a good day to make sure your pet's vaccinations are up to date, and animal advocates urge pet owners to share pictures of their favorite forever friends on social media.
So let's do just that. What do you say?
Yes,
Okay.
I agree.
Who's your favorite pet? I bet I know.
Well, Stanley, obviously. So we took him to the park for the first time over the weekend. This is Kapiolani Park, and he loved it. Played fetch a little bit.
Aww.
And that was the first day we got him from the Humane Society.
He has grown so
I
much.
know.
It's really the paws.
It makes me so sad. Look at him. Oh.
Well, I'm going to share some of my favorite pets of all time, and I've mentioned before, sort of grown up in farm country.
Mhm.
So I had some unusual pets. Let's start with Cinnamon the cow.
Oh,
that was for a
cute.
4-H project, I think. And it's a limousine cow is the breed. That is me and my grandfather there showing it at the state fair in DuQuoin, Illinois. And then up next, I actually had a pet deer.
Oh, that's so cool,
Yeah, that's me
John.
and my sister, and she's going to love her haircut. Right there, we would bottle raise them, and they were really cool pets. We have to get some licenses nowadays to do that, of course, there in Illinois with the wildlife pet. But it was country back then.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, we would bottle raise them, and they were really cool. They were all named Bambi, of course. Yes. All right, guys, that's going to do it for This Is Now. Take a picture of your pet and show us how much you love it by posting it to social media. Go ahead and put the hashtag there, HNN. We might even share it. You never know. Ashley's going to be back first at 4 on KHNL. A lot happening on KHNL tonight, so check it out. Primetime lineup includes American Song Contest. See you later.